Hi everyone! So I thought I would do things a little differently for June as a test. We'll be talking about all the new cards coming to EN this June, as well as the current state of meta in this video. If you want to skip around, which I highly suggest, timestamps will be in the description. The cards' information will be the same as I've done for all individual card videos. I'm just putting everything into one big boy video and adding some info about the game's meta at the start of this month, basically. As per usual, the card sections you can just listen to in the background of other tasks. But for the meta part, I'm going to be throwing a lot of graphics on the screen and not necessarily talking through them. So you might want to actually watch the meta part. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the game meta for those who are interested. You all know I don't like relying on character rank as a method of analysis because I think that's incredibly subjective. But I get asked about it a lot, so I'm going to try and create several tier lists because while yes, they're still subjective, I want to be as comprehensive with every single list so we're not just focusing on stats. Because while, yeah, high stats are good, there's more to the game and more to good cards than just stats. First off, we have current highest attack stat units. All these are SSRs, and surprisingly, although I did try and do this list from my all cards database spreadsheet, the SSRs just end up being more powerful. Going in order of first place to 10th, we have Dorm Uniform Riddle, Camp Vargas Trey, General's Armor Lilia, Basketball Jersey Ace, Dorm Uniform Leona, Suitor Suit Ace, Pop Music Club T-shirt Kate, Lab Coat Rook, Camp Vargas Ruggy, and Dorm Uniform Malleus. These were the strongest cards in April, and they're still the strongest cards in May. If you're wondering about the strongest SRs and R cards, here's the lists. I'm not going to go over them verbally though, but they're on screen. For HP, again going from 1st to 10th, we have Pop Music Club T-shirt Lilia, Soomsitter Kalim, Dorm Uniform Silver, Silkadorn Jamil, Soomsitter Leona, Dorm Uniform Idia, Dorm Uniform Trey, Birthday Bloom Deuce, Birthday Jacket Vil, and Basketball Jersey Floyd. We actually did have some changes from April to May. Dorm Uniform Apple has been knocked out of the top 10 with Birthday Bloom Deuce coming to EN. He was in 10th place last month, and Vil and Floyd have been knocked down one rank. And like for attack, I'll show the rankings for SRs and R cards. Now let's talk about my other tier lists. I'm taking exams into consideration with these, sort of, but basically how I did this is I'm thinking about how good these would be in a fight against a certain element. Next, I've given these cards a rank from A to F. A rank cards are mono element cards and they're ready to go right off the bat. B cards have the potential to be mono element units, but you need to build them a little first. They're still good to bring into fights, but they can be improved. C rank cards have one element advantage over the enemy, but for their other spell, it's either the same spell as the enemy or void. There's no disadvantages. D rank cards are the same as C, except you need to build them in order to get that advantage. So they'll be okay at a baseline level, but you need to build them to get that advantage. F rank cards have one element disadvantage as a default, and then either the same element as enemies or void, but their spell 3 has an advantage, so these cards can be built to do exams, but they're going to need work, and arguably the most work out of any of these. I'm taking that ranking system into consideration when making these tier lists. I know I should be focusing on skills as well, but these tier lists are already complicated to put together, and at some point, I need to stop. I'm not going to read these out loud because I'm not trying to make an hour-long video, so I'm just going to show them on screen now. Remember that these lists are super subjective, and also, duo magic is extremely important in exams, and there's no way to do tier lists for that. I can't go into your guys' inventories and, do tier lists based off of everyone's, you know? I just can't do that. So these cards in my tier list, they'll be good elements and stats-wise, but, that's not all there is to doing well in battles. Please let that be the only takeaway from this video, that, stats are not everything. Are they important? Yes, but they are not the most important thing. Please listen to me when I say that. I'm so tired of saying that. And now that we have the meta update done, let's talk about June's schedule. Coming in early June, we have Bloom Birthday Deuce. In the middle of the month, we have the Stitch event. That event will add Tropical Wear Lilia, Floyd, Ace, Riddle, Jack, and Azul to the game. And finally, at the end of the month, we have Bloom Birthday Kalim. We'll talk about the characters in order of release, so let's start with Deuce. Deuce is an SSR defense unit. His max HP is 15,481 and his max attack is 4,541. Deuce's HP is insanely good, being way above average for all cards and just SSRs. He has the 8th highest HP in the game. His attack suffers because of this, being below average for both of those categories. His spell 1 is Zero Ray, his spell 2 is Leech Shot 2 and later Force Strike 2, and his spell 3 is Water Shot 2. For skills, he's got Cosmic Damage Cut, Power Boost, and Damage Cut. On spell 1 at level 1, he has a minor damage cut to foes for 1 turn, at level 5 it's modest, and at level 10 it maxes out at major. On spell 3, he starts off with nothing, at level 5 he gains a minor power boost to caster for 1 turn, and at level 10 he gains an additional minor damage cut to foes for 1 turn. His duo magic partner is Malleus, who gives him a modest HP boost. His other buddies are Kate with a minor HP boost, and Jack, who gives him a minor power boost. Alright, so let's talk about building starting with the basics. In order to groovy Deuce, you'll need to get him to power level 40 and vignette level 3. Grooving doesn't use many Thou marks, but it will cost 5 spade candy. As for uncapping, he'll need 0 to 12 SSR awakening perfumes. Each uncap costs 3 perfumes, so the more copies you get, the less perfumes you'll be using. So it kinda depends on how many copies you manage to pull. Now we got spells. For spell 1, he'll need 351 Void notepads, 253 Void textbooks, 111 Void grimoires, and 380,000 Thou marks. Spell 2 needs 351 Flora notepads, 253 Flora textbooks, 111 Flora grimoires, and 318,000 Thou marks. And finally, spell 3 needs those same amounts as the other spells, but in water books, and it'll cost the same amount. In total, that's going to cost 954,000 Thou marks. So there are no straight up dupes for Deuce, but we do have some good alternatives. My suggestions are Birthday Bloom Ruggy, Birthday Boy Kate, Apprentice Chef Leona, and Gallicator Ruggy. Deuce is going to be great HP padding, but also good in fights with Void units because of that cosmic damage cut. He's going to be a little weak though, so make sure to balance it out with some strong units. Jack is an R attack unit. His max HP is 5,186, and his max attack is 5,346. His attack is really good. It's above average when it comes to rares and all cards, but like Deuce, because his attack, or at least one of his stats, is so high, his HP is pretty low. Unfortunately, that's kind of how things work in the game, and I don't like it. Anyways, his spell 1 is Fire Shot, and his spell 2 is Void Shot 2. For skills, he's got HP Restoration and Damage Boost. He gets his spell 1 skill at level 5, and it's a minor HP restoration, it doesn't grow at all. Spell 2 is the same deal, where you have to get him to level 5 to get something. He has a tiny damage boost to caster for 1 turn on that spell. It also doesn't grow. Yay. His only buddy is Azul with a modest power boost. So in order to groovy Jack, you'll need to get him to power level 20 and vignette level 2. Grooving doesn't use many Thou marks, but it'll cost 1 tropical wear. You can get this from the event shop. As for uncapping, he'll need 0 to 40 R awakening perfumes. Each uncap costs 10 perfume. Now, you can either use the perfume to do this, or you can buy more copies from the event shop. It depends on what you want to do, honestly. Now we got spells. For spell 1, he'll need 135 coconuts, 112 wood, 90 fish, and 79,400 Thou marks. Spell 2 needs 180 coconuts, 180 wood, 286 fish, and it'll also cost 79,400 Thou marks. It will cost a total of 158,800 Thou marks. Azul is an R defense unit. His max HP is 9,822, and his max attack is 3,016. Both stats are below average when looking at all cards combined, but when looking at only rares, his HP is above and his attack is below. His spell 1 is Water Shot, and his spell 2 is Void Shot 2. For skills, he's got Power Drain and Damage Cut. On spell 1 at level 5, he gets a minor Power Drain on foes for 1 turn. Over on spell 2 at level 5, he gets a tiny damage cut to foes for 1 turn. Yeah, like Jack, you have to build him to get the skills. He doesn't have anything just right off the bat. His only buddy is Jack with a modest HP boost. In order to groovy Azul, you'll need to get him to power level 20 and vignette level 2. Grooving doesn't use many Thou marks, but it'll cost 1 tropical wear. Like I said with Jack, you can just get that from the event shop. That's how you get those. As for uncapping, he'll need 0 to 40 R awakening perfumes. Each uncap costs 10 perfume, so the more copies you purchase in the event shop, you'll be using less perfume. But also, you could totally just use all awakening perfumes and not even bother buying copies from the event shop. It honestly just depends on how you like playing the events. And also how long you've been playing the game. If you've been playing for years, you probably have, so many awakening perfumes for rare cards that it's not even a big deal to just use 40 at one time. So yeah, it's up to you on what you want to do for that. Now we got spells. For spell 1, he'll need 135 coconuts, 112 wood, 90 fish, and 79,400 Thou marks. Spell 2 needs 180 coconuts, 180 wood, 286 fish, and it'll also cost 79,400 Thou marks. It will cost a total of 158,800 Thou marks. Riddle is an SR attack unit. His max HP is 6,500 and his max attack is 6,595. His HP is massively below average when looking at all cards and just other SRs, but his attack is massively above both because of that. He's really strong for an SR. Also, unfortunately, in this event, I'll go over this more in my, event guide video, but I just want to say this now so you guys kind of have the heads up. The only event-specific, limited use cards are R cards, so both of these SRs you're going to have to pull for. Yeah, it kind of sucks, but yeah, it is what it is. His spell 1 is Forest Strike, and his spell 2 is Water Shot 2. For skills, he's got Curse and Power Boost. On spell 1 at level 1, he has a minor curse on foes for 2 turns. At level 5, it's Modest, and he also gains a minor power boost to caster for 1 turn. But because he has 2 skills on spell 1, he has nothing on spell 2. His buddies are Floyd with a Modest power boost, and Floyd who gives him a minor HP boost. In order to groovy Riddle, you'll need to get him to power level 30 and vignette level 2. Grooving doesn't use many Thou marks, but it'll cost 3 rose candy. He's not a limited use card, so he doesn't need the tropical wear. As for uncapping, he'll need 0 to 40 SR Awakening perfumes. Each uncap costs 10 perfume, so the more copies you pull, you'll be using 10 less perfume. Now for spells. For spell 1, he'll need 276 Flora notepads, 253 Flora textbooks, 31 Flora grimoires, and 145,100 Thou marks. Spell 2 needs those same amounts but in water books, and it'll also cost 145,100 Thou marks. It will cost a total of 290,200 Thou marks. Lilia is an SSR defense unit. His max HP is 13,626, and his max attack is 5,333. His HP is amazing, being above average for all SSRs and also all cards. His attack is less so. It's just above the all cards average. His spell 1 is Forest Strike, his spell 2 is Fire Shot 2 and later Flame Blast 2, and his spell 3 is Water Shot 2. For skills, he's got HP Regeneration, Damage Cut, Nullify Freeze, and Power Boost. On spell 1 at level 1, he has a minor HP regeneration for 3 turns. At level 5, he gains a minor damage cut to foe for 1 turn. He has nothing at level 10. On spell 3, he starts off with a Nullify Freeze to caster for 1 turn. At level 5, it's Nullify Freeze to allies for 1 turn, and at level 10, he gets a minor power boost to caster for 1 turn. His dual magic partner is Ace, who gives him a modest HP boost. His other buddies are Kalim with a minor HP boost, and Azul, who gives him a minor power boost. In order to groovy Lilia, you'll need to get him to power level 40 and vignette level 3. Grooving doesn't use many Thou marks, but it will cost 5 back candy. As for uncapping, he'll need 0 to 12 SSR Awakening perfumes. Each uncap costs 3 perfumes, so the more copies you get, the less perfume you'll be using. For spell 1, he'll need 351 Flora notepads, 253 Flora textbooks, 111 Flora grimoires, and 318,000 Thou marks. Spell 2 needs those exact amount but in fire items, and it also costs the same. And spell 3, like the others, needs those amounts but in water books and all of that, and it costs the same. In total, that's going to cost 954,000 Thou marks to, fully max out all of his spells. So we've got some alternatives for Lilia, and some of them are really, really close to him. Basically, there's a dupe option for him if you don't pull him. My recommendations will be Beans Camo Floyd, since he's practically a dupe, Masquerade Malleus, Labwear Azul, and Halloween Costume Kalim. Lilia's going to be a solid healer and debuffer. He'll be more optimal in teams going against Freeze, but he has so many other skills that you can put him anywhere, honestly. And also, if you were never able to get Beans Camo Floyd but wanted him, Lilia's a very close dupe, so that's also a thing. They're very close to each other, so if you wanted Floyd and didn't get him, Lilia's kind of a chance to get a unit very, very similar to that. Ace is an SR defense unit. His max HP is 12,415, and his max attack is 3,691. Ace has really, really good HP, being wildly above the SR average and the all cards average. His attack, though, not as great. His spell 1 is Aqua Wave, and his spell 2 is Fire Shot 2. For skills, he's got Evasion Boost. I guess I should have said for his skill, but anyways, he's got Evasion Boost. On spell 1 at level 1, he has a minor Evasion Boost to caster for 1 turn. At level 5, it's Modest, and that's where it maxes out. He has nothing on his spell 2. His buddies are Rook with a minor power boost, and Lilia, who gives him a modest HP boost. In order to groovy Ace, you'll need to get him to power level 30 and vignette level 2. Grooving doesn't use many Thou marks, but it'll cost 3 heart candy. He's a gacha unit, so he doesn't need the tropical wear. As for uncapping, he'll need 0 to 40 SR Awakening perfumes. Each uncap costs 10 perfume, so the more copies you pull, you'll be using 10 less perfume. Unfortunately, you cannot buy extra copies of him in the event shop, so perfume is really your only option unless you want to play the gacha, a couple of times. Now we got spells. For spell 1, he'll need 276 water notepads, 253 water textbooks, 31 water grimoires, and 145,100 Thou marks. Spell 2 needs 276 fire notepads, 253 fire textbooks, 31 fire grimoires, and it'll also cost 154,100 Thou marks. It will cost a total of 290,200 Thou marks. Floyd is an SSR attack unit. His max HP is 10,675, and his max attack is 6,548. His max HP is below average when looking at the SSR average, but it is above the all cards average. His attack, though, is above average for both of these categories. His spell 1 is Zero Ray, his spell 2 is Water Shot 2 and later Aqua Wave 2, and his spell 3 is Leash Shot 2. For skills, he's got Power Boost and Damage Cut. On spell 1 at level 1, he has a minor Power Boost to caster for 1 turn. At level 5, it's for 3 turns, and at level 10, it maxes out at Modest for 3 turns. On spell 3, he starts with a minor Damage Cut to foe for 1 turn. At level 5, it's for 3 turns, and at level 10, it's Modest for 3 turns, so it grows the same way as the spell 1 skill. His dual magic partner is Riddle with a modest HP boost. His other buddies are Jay with a minor HP boost, and Jack who gives him a minor power boost. In order to groovy Floyd, you'll need to get into power level 40 and vignette level 3. Grooving doesn't use up Thal marks, but it will cost 5 Tailfin candy. As for uncapping, he'll need 0 to 12 SSR Awakening perfumes. Each uncap costs 3 perfumes, so the more copies you get, the less perfumes you'll be using. For spell 1, he'll need 351 Void notepads, 253 Void textbooks, 111 Void grimoires, and 380,000 Thal marks. Spell 2 needs those amounts in water books, and it'll cost the same amount. And finally, spell 3 needs those same amounts as the other spells, but in flora notepads and books and all of that, and it'll also cost the same. In total, that's going to cost 954,000 Thal marks. So like Lilia, we have some really solid alternatives in case Floyd doesn't come home or you're on the fence about pulling. My suggestions are Birthday Boy Rook, Birthday Jacket Jade, Apprentice Chef Trey, and Halloween Costume Sebek. Floyd will be good in almost any team that needs a strong unit. He doesn't have any specific traits that would make him a more specialized unit, like, his skills are pretty basic, but that does mean you don't have to worry about what you're doing with him besides paying attention to enemy elements. He's pretty much good to go. Kalim is an SSR balance unit. His max HP is 11,665, so close to the number of the beast, ooh! And his max attack is 6,152. Both of his stats are above the all cards averages, but when it comes to SSRs, his stats are pretty average. If you want to get technical, his HP is just under and his attack is just above, but honestly, they're so close I don't think those minor differences really mean anything. His spell 1 is Zero Ray, his spell 2 is Fire Shot 2 and later Flame Blast 2, and his spell 3 is Leash Shot 2. For skills, he's got Damage Boost, HP Regeneration, and Damage Cut. On spell 1 at level 1, he has a minor damage boost to caster for 1 turn. At level 5, it's a minor damage boost to caster for 3 turns, and at level 10, it maxes out at Modest for 3 turns. On spell 3, he starts out with nothing, so you have to build him to get anything on that spell. At level 5, he gains a minor HP regeneration for 3 turns, and at level 10, he gains a minor damage cut to foes for 1 turn. His dual magic partner is Azul with a modest HP boost, his other buddies are Malleus with a minor power boost, and Floyd who gives him a minor HP boost. In order to groovy Kalim, you'll need to get into power level 40 and vignette level 3. Grooving doesn't use up any Thal marks, but it will cost 5 headdress candy. As for uncapping, he'll need 0 to 12 SSR Awakening perfumes. Each uncap costs 3 perfumes, so the more copies you get, the less perfume you'll use. So for spells. For spell 1, he'll need 351 Void notepads, 253 Void textbooks, 111 Void grimoires, and 380,000 Thal marks. Spell 2 needs those amounts, but in fire-like items, it costs the same. And like I'm sure all of you can probably guess, spell 3 needs those same amounts, but in flora books, and it also costs the same. In total, that's going to cost 954,000 Thal marks. So these alternatives are great, but we have no dupes or near dupes like we did for Lilia. If Kalim doesn't come home, or maybe you're just wanting to see if you have that at home, my suggestions for an alternate unit would be Birthday Boy Deuce, Cerberus Gear Ordo, Labwear Jack, or PE Uniform Malleus. Kalim's gonna be a dependable healer. He won't give you any HP padding, but he'll heal you and help buff your team while cutting down on the enemy's damage. Admittedly, I can't think of a specific team to put him in. I think for the most part, he's gonna be fine in whatever team. But if you need padding, he's not gonna be the unit for you. But if you need a healer and stats are no issue, he'll be a good unit for you. And that's all the new cards for June. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if we're feeling this new format or not. I get a lot of people asking about tier lists, and I've wanted to do like a State of Meta series for a while. But I don't necessarily want people to be like jumping from video to video to video to get all the information, so I figured having everything together would be the best way to do this. But let me know how we all feel about this and I can tweak things or change things for July. Thank you everyone for watching, and a very special thank you to my channel members and Twitch subs. Your support helps me to continue to make these videos. If you'd like early access to my videos, consider becoming a channel member. Patrons and Ko-fi members can get my scripts early before I record them. I livestream over on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Thanks again guys, and I'll see y'all later.